Top of the morning to you. How are you doing? This is Micah Dobbins, host of the Micah Dobbins Show. And today I just wanted to do a video talking with you guys about the importance of just checking on your people, making sure that people are okay. I had seen a story that was crazy on the news where a man was like on a bridge and he was, wanting to jump off here in Georgia. And not only did he do it, but later on, I kind of heard the story behind what drove him to it. And my heart kind of went out because I have a saying sometimes when I'm working and I have my son working with me. I quote from this movie I used to watch when I was younger. Probably had no business watching it, but it's called DC Cab. And in the movie, the guy says, "It's tough to be a man, baby. It's tough to be a man," And I tell people that sometimes jokingly, just playing whatever. Like, it's tough to be a man, baby. But the reality is, it is pretty hard. I have like brothers in the church and people I talk to. They go through various things. I myself, whether it be in business or just in life, everybody goes through something sometimes, and it can be hard out there. So we need to take that into consideration. Sometimes I think a lot of times people have developed a callous because of how our society's been, because of how the world has been, and everybody and their mama has like a podcast now and an opinion on what somebody should do or shouldn't do, or what a man is, what a man isn't, or these types of conversations are very prevalent. And I want to just let people know your worth, your peace, your comfort. For me, it's only going to be found in Jesus. You can try to substitute it with accolades or success. You can try to substitute it with meaningless relationships. But at the end of the day, only what we do in Christ will last. And I really do believe that it is by God that I've been able to have the peace that I've had in all of the turmoil and the things that I've come across. I mean, they say this saying that people don't look like what they've been through. And, I find that to be true in a lot of cases. I mean, for me personally, just even my transitional phase to turning to God, I remember, you know, the feeling of, getting shot at, or the feeling of somebody trying to cut you, stab you with a box, cut you with a box cutter or a razor, or try to stab you with some scissors. I've actually had somebody bite me before. It was a crazy story. People try to want to jump you and all these things. So like you may have gone through various things, and people don't even know what makes you you now. That when you have the patience for like young people, because you used to be young and kind of reckless, or when you can, exercise restraint at a time when most people will want to lash out or fight or go off. They don't understand the story behind the individual sometimes, but God knows. And that's, what it really is. It's a song actually for King Country made. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows the real you. So sometimes, I think people are afraid to ask for help or to speak out or to say what they're really feeling. So I just want to let you guys know that it's okay to do that. I've actually asked for help. I had, some family and people that have really been like pillars, successful. Of course, when I was in, situations of that I needed clarity, I could go to, and they could say, hey, this is what I would do, or this is what I would advise. You find when you're trying to do uncharted territories that most people haven't, the biggest challenges when it comes to advice. Like if you're trying to, I use our example, like even homeschooling your kids. Out of my siblings, we were the first and the only to actually decide we're going to homeschool. And that alone is a challenge within itself, because then it's like, you have, of course, people that support, people that have questions why, then you have the naysayers, and then you're kind of in this place it's uncharted because you've never been on this road. You don't know what the outcome is going to be long term. The same, like if you're trying entrepreneurship, maybe you came from a family that, everybody worked in the steel mill factory, and then you decide, nah, I'm going to start my own landscaping business. Well, they may not have the intricate knowledge of how to plant the seeds and cut the grass and all these things. So you may have to find somebody more suited to advise you in that situation. But I just wanted to kind of share that, as I was thinking about it. It's tough to be a man. it could be very hard sometimes, guys, but just hang in there. It's worth it to see the smile on your family's face at the end of the day. And if you aren't with your family, or you don't have a family, or you're going through things right now, talk to the Father, talk to God. Some men may not have grown up with a father in the home. I know that could be difficult. I was fortunate enough to have my dad, in the home, but there were things that, with him being in the military, he might have to be gone during critical moments or points of your life where you kind of feel a little bit of the void. I can never say I totally identify with not having a father in the home, because he's always, for the most part of my life, been there. But there are times where, 1 year here, 1 year there, because they're stationed overseas and your family stateside. And it may be at those ages where you really need the father to help you to kind of check your ego a little bit. I remember like feeling like I'm a grown man at like 14. Like, yo, I go out, stay out all night, do what I want to do. Then it's like, nah, I'm back now. You got rules. You need to be in by 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you got a curfew. And it's like, what? And these kind of things. So, there's a lot that I think helps shape us as far as how we turn out. But at the end of the day, I find my strongest source was leaning on God and really trusting His word and meditating on Him. And I believe it'll take us a lot further. So this is just an early morning thought I was having today. A lot of things that I've been, thinking about, and people that I care about that are going through things. I know, like I said, some people that are in between jobs, some people have been laid off, some people don't know what their next step is going to be, and that kind of weighs on you and weighs on them. But always give it to God, pray, and trust Him to help you with the outcome. And don't just pray aimlessly. Pray asking for Him to do something specific and to give you confirmation or instruction on how to overcome, on how to make it, because we all need somebody at some point or another. But I just want to talk to you guys on that and share that. I pray you all have a great day. I'm going to be posting more regularly on here. So make sure that you like, share, subscribe if you want, so that you can get more of this type of content. All right. Thanks for watching.